Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice time. While cultures celebrate the winter solstice for a day or several days across different cultures, the solstice itself is a specific time. The solstice takes place at the exact moment the sun situates itself above the Tropic of Capricorn. Paint Rock, Texas. There are several places throughout all of the earth where the ancient indigenous precisely honored the winter solstice with the combination of drawing and sunlight hitting the exact spot of the sun's position at the exact moment of transition from dark to light on the shortest day of the year. With the passing of the winter solstice and the rising of the sun in the noon sky, Native American people had reason to celebrate as they saw the sun strengthening once more. Although many months of cold weather still remained before the spring thaw, they realized that the return of the warm season was inevitable. In Cahokia, which was located near the Mississippi River just across from St. Louis in modern-day Illinois, the indigenous people built several temple mounds or pyramids similar to the ones made by the Aztecs over 1,000 years ago. Among these stood a fascinating structure known today as Woodhenge, which was comprised of large wooden posts positioned in a circle. On the winter solstice, the sun aligns with this structure. The Cahokia people, like many indigenous people, venerated the sun and considered it deity. It is believed they carefully observed the solar system and held rituals honoring the sun for the coming agricultural year. The Hopi soil. Much like other Native American winter solstice traditions, soil is observed by the Hopi of northern Arizona. It commemorates the winter season and transition to spring. As the Hopi's most sacred annual spiritual rite, it is a time to welcome the wakening sun from its long winter slumber. At the time of the solstice, the Hopi welcome the Kachinas. They are the protective spirits from the mountains. Prayer sticks are crafted and used for various blessings and other rituals. Zuni prayer. The Shalako festival is a multi-day celebration culminating in the winter solstice in which Zuni men dress and adorn themselves to embody the spirit of large deities. They then carry prayers for rain to all the corners of the earth, encouraging the deities to provide balance and blessings in the year ahead. Blackfoot Natosi. On winter solstice, the Blackfeet of Montana celebrate the reemergence of the Natosi, or sun god, through song and dance. This is a reflection of the Native Americans' people's understanding of the solar system and celestial seasons. It demonstrates an ancient understanding of the interconnectedness and the role of the sun in the lives of everyone walking the earth. Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. Chaco was built in the northwestern corner of New Mexico between 850 and 1150 AD. It was the most advanced civilization in North America until the 19th century. Imagine a diagonal doorway exactly aligned so the sun shines through at the winter solstice. The Serpent Mound. Located in Peebles, Ohio, the head of the serpent aligns with the summer solstice sunset, while the tail points to the winter solstice sunrise. Still today, the Serpent Mound Star Knowledge Winter Peace Summit is held at winter solstice. It offers ceremonies with indigenous elders through song and drumming and other spiritually transformative opportunities. It includes a gathering that takes a sacred walk around the Serpent Mound in the name of peace. Inti Raymi. According to Inca tradition, The Inti Raymi was created by the Inca Pachacutec in 1430 AD. It is a religious celebration of the Incan Sun King Inti and Pachamama, Mother Earth. The winter solstice was hugely important for the Incas because it was the least amount of time Inti, or Sun Father, had on Earth. The solstice coincided with important spiritual rituals. They would light a ceremonial fire, which symbolized the start of a new year. Saturnalia. This festival happened around the time of the winter solstice and celebrated the end of the planting season. There were games and feasts and gift-giving for several days, and social order was inverted. Slaves did not work and were briefly treated as equals. Christmas especially owes many of its traditions to the ancient Roman festival, including the date Christmas is celebrated. But by the 4th century AD, Western Christian churches settled on celebrating Christmas on December 25th, which allowed them to incorporate the holiday with Saturnalia. Before the end of the 4th century, many of the traditions of Saturnalia, including giving gifts, singing, lighting candles, feasting, and merrymaking, had become absorbed by the traditions of Christmas. St. Lucia's Day. St. Lucia is a festival of lights celebrated in Scandinavia around the time of winter solstice. Although it is now meant to honor St. Lucia, a Christian martyr, it has been incorporated with earlier Norse solstice traditions, such as lighting fires to ward off spirits during the longest night. Girls dress up in white gowns with red sashes and wear wreaths of candles on their heads in honor of St. Lucia. Yalda. The Persian festival Yalda, or Shab-e Yalda, is a celebration of the winter solstice in Iran that started in ancient times. It marks the last day of the Persian month of Azar. Yalda is viewed traditionally as the victory of light over dark and the birthday of the sun god Mithra. Families celebrate together with special foods like nuts and pomegranates, and some stay awake all night long to welcome the morning sun. Stonehenge. Stonehenge was built approximately 5,000 years ago. Twice a year, a great spectacle occurs when the sun passes perfectly through the stones on the winter and summer solstices. Yule. To the Celts, the solstice was symbolic of a great battle between the Oak King, who represents light, and the Holly King, who represents dark in Celtic mythology. Year after year, winter would emerge victoriously, and the two would battle again on the summer solstice. This was also a time of big celebration. Celts were known for their epic feasts and parties during this time, where they'd partake in their winter solstice traditions. These soirees were usually accompanied by large bonfires that would keep evil spirits from their crops. Mayans, Toltec. Ancient people were absolutely dependent on the sun coming at specific times of the year. No life can subsist without the energy and power of the sun. If you visit the pyramid on the winter solstice, you can witness a light show that is the same now as it was in ancient times. In the early hours of the morning, the sun rolls up the side of the pyramid like an otherworldly being rising into the sky. The Mayans observers understood cosmic turning points that presaged the growth of that year's crops. The cycle of planting and harvesting was very closely tied to the solar cycle. Newgrange Tomb, County Meath, Ireland. This Neolithic monument is fully illuminated at sunrise for the few days around solstice. bathing the 19-meter passage and chamber in orange light. Some of the first farmers to arrive in Ireland erected this monument. As sunlight hits the back of this Neolithic passage tomb every year, it's as though the ancestors of 5,000 years ago are reaching out to communicate. The spectacle lasts just 17 minutes. Glastonbury Tor in the Chalice Well, Glastonbury, Somerset. Although many choose to climb the mythical Tor, a better bet is to view the solstice sunrise from nearby Windmill Hill, where it can be seen rolling along the slope of the Glastonbury Tor from base to top. Karnak Temple. At solstice dawn, the shimmering gold disk of the sun ascends between and above the walls of this ancient monument, built over 3,000 years ago as a shrine to the sun god Amun-Ra. Calendar Rock in Sicily. 5,000-year-old Calendar Rock, discovered in Sicily, sported a man-made hole through which the winter solstice sun would shine. Maeshowe Mainland, Orkney, Scotland. Constructed around 2700 BC, this monument is one of the most famous winter solstice alignments. The grass mound hides a complex of passages and chambers built of carefully crafted slabs of flagstone weighing up to 30 tons. It is aligned so that the rear wall of its central chamber is illuminated on the winter solstice. These are just a few of the tributes man has created to honor the winter solstice. Today, as we move into recreating our new earth, we can appreciate the human spirit moving from the darkness to the light. What a beautiful world we live in. How glorious life is on this planet. We can have world peace. We can do this. Love is the light that will conquer all.